Well, as we get started with the course here, I want to let you know what you can expect realistically when you go to take this exam, because if you're watching a A+ course like this, you're probably relatively new to this whole IT world, at least the corporate support tech world. And so I want to make sure you don't get surprised when you get there. So what can you expect? First of all, understand to get certified as an A+ technician by CompTIA, you have to pass two separate exams. The first one is called 220-801. That is what this course that you're watching is going to help you prepare for. The second one is course 220-802, and we'll have a separate course for that here at VTC. Now keep in mind you have to pass both of these exams. You can take them in whichever order you would like. I would suggest you take 801 first and then do 802 just in the order that you see them. Now let's talk about the structure of the A+ exam. You're going to get 100 questions on each one of these tests. Now the 100 questions are going to be either multiple choice, drag and drop simulation type things, or places where you identify parts and shapes and locations on motherboards and that sort of thing. Now the multiple choice is generally A, B, C, or D. They're not going to throw a lot of weird things at you. They're just going to basically ask you information and see if you know it. Now this exam is timed. The first time people go take the exam and they don't know it's timed, that really bothers them when they get in there, because they've got, the last time that I set the A+ exam, it was 90 minutes. And so that little clock up there in the corner ticking down backwards bothers them. But trust me, you're going to have plenty of time to answer all the questions. You will complete this exam way before you run out of time. Now the exam environment is something you need to be prepared for if you've never taken one of these certification exams. First of all, do not be surprised. You're going to be in a shared testing environment. When you get ready to take the exam, they're going to take you into a room, and there's going to be little like cubicles with a desk and a computer in it, much like you see at work. Now it's kind of a small cubicle, but there will be other people in that rather large room. It's like a really large conference room that'll be taking tests, and they're not all taking A+. So keep that in mind. And let me warn you, if other people talking, breathing, rattling paper, squeaking a chair, if that bothers you, then you need to be prepared for that as much as possible. And just kind of a little trick for you here, you may even want to call and schedule an exam, kind of early or a little bit later. Now here's a big one. You may even want to go visit the testing site before scheduling your exam. Okay, just go take a look at it, kind of see how it looks, see how it feels. If you're in a location, if you're in a major city, you've probably got 3 or 4 choices, and they can really, really vary in how large the room is, how tightly people are packed in there, how busy they are. And talk to the person up front there. Say, what's your busy time? I would like to take the exam when there's not a lot of people here. When would that be? They'll probably tell you early morning or late in the afternoon, but you can take care of that. Now, if you have multiple locations to choose from, then you've got a lot more options, okay? Now, when it comes to equipment, don't let this throw you. On a lot of these certification exams I've taken, and I've done A+ and Network Plus and Security Plus and a bunch of Microsoft exams and so forth, your equipment is not always state of the art, okay? From time to time, I've gone into these places and they've got the old CRT monitors and they're flickering, or they're not very contrasty, and just all kinds of weird stuff is happening. And that's why I'm telling you, you may want to go visit a testing site and just tell them, say, hey, I'd like to see where I'm going to be taking the exam. And if they don't want to work with you, then you probably don't want to go there anyway. That's just a suggestion. You may want to try that. Now, here's the big thing everybody wants to know. Will this exam be hard? Will it be tough? Well, the answer is possibly yes, possibly no. Now, the exam's going to be tough simply because the A+ exam covers a very wide range of technologies. Now, I don't want to intimidate you here, but as you well know, by the time you go through this course especially, there's only about 73 million possible things they could ask you a question on. However, you also know that within those 73 million things, there's a wide variety of functionalities that's being covered. Everything from wireless connectivity to wireless security to TCP/IP to file structures in Windows 7 and all that sort of stuff. Motherboard types. So you got a lot to learn here, and you've got a lot to know, but don't let this intimidate you. I know very few techs out there, myself included, myself at the top of the list, that are up to speed on all the topics covered on the A+ exam without going back and doing a little bit of refresher, a little bit of just rote memorization on some things, because you just don't touch all of this stuff all the time. Now, will the exam be tough? No, it really won't. If you have plenty of hands-on experience, you're going to be surprised at just how much you know. And you'll go take this exam and you'll pass it and you'll walk out of there, and it really will kind of shock you as just how much computer knowledge you've crammed into your brain. And if you study for the exam, if you prepare for it, if you get hands-on experience, if you're not afraid to admit to yourself the areas you're weak and really plow into those, you will not find this exam tough at all. So that's kind of what to expect when you get to the exam location as you're taking the exam. And I'm going to tell you exactly how to set this exam and how to do it and give yourself the best chance to pass in a separate video called Taking the Exam. So you may want to catch that one later on in the course. But that's what you can expect on your first A+ exam.